So my guess is that we'll be looking for either a way to kill all skulls.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Didn't we know that already? I think Jonathan's slow on the uptake. But it looks like we might be searching for a way to eradicate all skulls, or find a way to cure them. That would be my guess at this point.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Anything new open up? I can't imagine.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there?
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
You also need a hobby. Instead of trying to figure out what random people are doing. Who else is here?
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to go check it out.
Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Are you going to tell me the Mullaneys as well?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
Nope.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Good trigger part, I don't need that. I figured I bought his handle parts, but I couldn't remember.
Women's right to vote is only
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell. I'm sure you'll take care of yourself.
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
Alright, let's pop in here.
All countries unite.
See if anyone else can tell me anything. It's just him and the mother upstairs, right? I'm assuming.
Yes, Mr. Jonathan?
Is there anything else? Yes.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
you know my mother speaks to the dead members of this family?
Yes. I sometimes hear her speaking to you, Miss Mary, and her baby. Sometimes your father, too.
So she thinks I'm also dead. And what about you?
I believe she only sees her relatives as the dead she speaks to, Mr. Jonathan. It breaks my heart to see Miss Reed like that.
My mother is gone. Yeah, she really is, though.
My mother is gone, Avery. Whatever illusions have clouded her mind, they are too deeply rooted for any hope of recovery.
I beg to differ, Mr. Jonathan. Your mother has always been strong. She will get better with time.
Time does not heal all wounds.
I'm currently investigating sources of the epidemic in this part of town. Do you know anything useful?
Not really, except all the MacPhersons' servants resigned a few days ago. They feared becoming infected, they said.
The MacPhersons? Where do they live?
I think it's a rich house near the railway bridge in the southern part of the district.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan, but please return as soon as possible.
Okay, let's go see if she has anything to say. Has she spoken to any other dead people recently?
Mary? Oh, my dear daughter.
Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan, back already. Good, good. I was just about to go outside to find you. You shouldn't stay away for so long.
I was gone like an hour.
Father seems to have left me some documents. Some sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious, dour banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon. Mary?
So, I started off going to here. Family Portraits. And I found that it was a boss fight, of which I am 10 levels too low. Minimum. So, I made my way back here, and I'm gonna do some of these events. Starting in Whitechapel. Because that's the one I'm closest to. I'm gonna go there, find out what's going on.
Women's right to vote is only the first step!
Because I have no need for all these boss fights. I really, really don't. There are a lot of boss fights in this game. Honestly, there are a ton. And I honestly don't think it's really necessary. Let's see if we can get through without him seeing me. Hey, cool. I didn't expect that. But yeah, it seems every time there's a boss fight, it goes up by like 5 levels. Hello, do I know you? Oh yeah, I've met you people before.
The answer to all your problems.
It's been a long time though.
Good evening,
As
Benjamin.
long as you have the money.
Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
How are conditions in Whitechapel these days?
I hear gunshots every night. It's just like the war in the trenches, Doctor. I can't stand it.
Nothing new. And nothing new.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
The answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
When people buy guns instead of medication, it means they have already traded hope for fear in their hearts. In my book, that's never a good thing, Doctor.
Nothing else, I'm assuming?
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
Gangs are ruining this neighborhood, if you ask me.
Okay, looks like we're heading this way. Is this her, Yeah. Yeah, this is stuff. Whoops. Alright, that wasn't what I expected. Alright, let's go kill her. Oh, nothing big deal here. I'm gonna save my rage for her, or at least I'm gonna try. Oh! Good shot, my friend. Yep. I was say, I knew I saw somebody about. Oh, wow. Are you coming down the stairs? No, you're in a big pool of blood. Okay, you have fun up there for a little while. And then I'm gonna come up there and kill you. Okie dokie? Even if it's not okie dokie, that's definitely what's gonna happen. Nothing else to loot here. I really did try to do the right thing with her. Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot that gives me blood now. Oh! Righto. Absolutely killed my health with that one. Well, I suppose that was the unknown event. No more skulls down here. Oh no, there is one. Hey, man. Bye. Oops. I wanted to collect. Okay, let's move along then. Yep, that was the event. Come on, remove it. How many times do I have to click remove? Alright, we'll head down to the hospital, talk to Swansea. Way down upon the Swansea River. I really shouldn't laugh at that, because that was terrible. I should be embarrassed. I haven't spoken to you, have I?
Good evening, Mr. Petrescu. What are you doing here?
I could ask you the exact same question, Mr. Doctor. Now leave me alone.
How is the sanitary situation in Whitechapel?
Terrible, to say the least. Maybe now you understand the importance of Dorothea's work here. But you never cared, did you?
That's quite an accusation.
Stop pretending, Mr. Doctor. All you wanted was to confront Dorothea. You never intended to help Whitechapel's people.
There isn't just one way to help Whitechapel.
Your way seems to attract sorrow and despair, Mr. Doctor. Your kind of care is not what Whitechapel needs.
I heard what happened to Nurse Crane. How do you feel, Mr. Petrescu?
Everything was going well until you arrived. Dorothea helped people and will be sorely missed.
I regret it too. I wish she'd continued working at the Pembroke hospital. She was a good nurse.
So you put an end to the operation? Did you put an end to Dorothea as well?
You seem to have a lot on your chest, sir. What's wrong?
I heard you are a famous surgeon. Tell me, what did you do to Dorothea? She was so bright, so clever. Then you made her an empty shell.
I didn't use drugs or medical trickery, Mr. Petrescu. All I did was talk to Nurse Crane. I promise you.
But what happened to her then? After you left, she did not even recognize me. And then she got careless and sick, and I had to flee.
Well, I didn't know that is what was going to happen. The little things here, the little descriptions of what was going to be said were unclear. I maintain that.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Alright, there's nothing else I can ask with that, though, so...
What do you plan to do now that Nurse Crane is gone?
I'm not sure. Strange men came to see me after Dorothea's death, with strange weapons and very odd stories.
What kind of stories?
Stories all Romanian children know. It was as if I was home again. Vampires, Mr. Doctor. Vampires.
You believe them? Aren't you too old to hold a weapon or listen to scary stories?
Yes, I am old and alone and will die soon, but if these stories are true, maybe I have found myself another cause.
Are you living on the streets, Mr. Petrescu?
And why not? Those who believe they'll be safe behind walls are blind.
What about your house?
My house is always open to any poor soul needing a roof. All my work here is lost now that Dorothea is gone, thanks to you.
Why are you so aggressive?
I remember the night you came here and convinced me to open my door to you, sir. I'd like to punch you right on your chops.
Alright, see you
Goodbye,
later.
Mr. Petrescu.
You're full of a lot of anger.
Oh, Dorothea.
Oh, check this out. Have I been here?
It's locked.
Ah. Alright, I'll talk to you people since I'm here.
You again? What do you want this time?
How is the sanitary situation in Whitechapel?
I'm not easily scared, but crazy killers and armed patrols are lurking about. My son's right about this place.
Nothing here.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? How are the current conditions in Whitechapel?
When there's more people outside at night than during the day, then you've got to start to worry.
Alright, what have you got?
Show me what you have.
I don't have a ton of money. I think I needed those. Okay, now I have no money. But it's probably going to be worth it.
Where's my money? You again?
Oh,
What do you want this time?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
apologies. I thought you were somebody different.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Alright, you're kind of slimy.
Have you heard anything about Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Not really.
Why am I not convinced?
Maybe it's because you lack faith. Being a skeptic must be useful for a man of science.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
Alright then. You are a terrible, slimy scumbag. And I think that might be the nicest thing I can say.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamborous shit.
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
What is your business, exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
Oh, dear Lord. You are a repellent individual.
You obviously place yourself above the misery of Whitechapel. But you are as repellent an individual as I have ever met.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you.
Sounds only vaguely like a threat.
How are conditions in Whitechapel at present?
The way this sickness is spreading, I don't think there'll be enough new bloods to replace those tenants I'm losing from this bloody thing.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
Yeah, he really is a scumbag.
It seems to get uglier every year.
All your problems. As long as you have the money.
Okay, I went around in a big circle.
When science fails you, this makes you.
Have I spoken to you?
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Have conditions improved in Whitechapel?
I'm ready for whatever's coming.
That didn't answer the question, but fine.
Goodbye, young man.
I think it might just be a straight beeline from here. Can't swear to it, though. Yeah, it looks like it. That was pretty easy. Yeah, let's not go down there. Not a big fan of the beasts.
Best stay back, sir. Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Let's sneak.
Leech!
Alright, let's not sneak. Nothing from these bodies, really? Righto. Back to the hospital. Let's just poof up here and talk to Swansea. Also, can I upgrade my stuff yet? Yes, I can do this. Good. I get more blood from it now, too.